All right, Module 3 of 4v4 Flag Football's official training. First thing we'll go over is the momentum rule. So the momentum rule applies when a defensive player gets possession of the ball between their 5-yard line and the goal line, and their momentum carries them into the end zone, and then the play ends before they advance out of the end zone. So typically how this happens, and I think the only way it can really happen in 4-on-4 flag football, is a pass that is going towards the end zone. A defensive player is running towards their own end zone. They intercept it, say at the 3-yard line, and then they stumble into the end zone and fall down. So typically when somebody is down or deflagged in their own end zone, it is a safety. But because in this case, their momentum is what brought them into the end zone, they had no chance to advance out of the end zone or advance from that spot. We do not punish the defensive team in that case. So they intercepted at the 3, they stumble in, they fall into the end zone. We are going to give that team the ball at the 3-yard line, as opposed to doing either a touchback or a safety. So we do have a video. It might be a little bit choppy, but hopefully it will help you sort of understand this concept a little bit more. So what we'll see is a black team is going to be on offense. They're going to throw the ball towards the end zone, and then the white team is going to catch it on like the 2-3-ish yard line and then be tackled in their end zone. And then you'll see the official takes a spot at the 3-yard line as opposed to in the end zone. So let's take a look at that. So that one's not too bad. You could see that he didn't actually quite make it back to his own end zone. But if he did, and he was, that momentum took a little bit more into the end zone, that is where we apply the momentum rule. So we do not punish that team for falling into the end zone, and we will just give them the ball at the point of where the interception was. All right, scoring in 4-on-4 flag football. Touchdown is still 6 points. And then after a team scores a touchdown, they will have the option, and we will ask them if they would like to go for 1, 2, or 3. And then you can see whichever one they choose, which yard line they will have to attempt that try from. Another thing that's different typically than you may have seen in football, if there is an interception during an extra point try, we do not allow that team to try and return it. We just blow our whistle and the play is dead, just as if there was an incomplete pass or something like that. So there is no interception returns on extra point tries. A safety is worth 2 points. So different than the momentum rule, if a team runs into their own end zone and is deflagged or falls to the ground inside and they do not advance it out, then we will give a safety, which is a little bit different than, so there's sort of 3 scenarios when somebody's down in their own end zone, what can happen. A lot of times it's going to be a safety. We talked about what a momentum rule is, and then a touchback is similar to momentum. So the defense catches an interception, they're already standing in their end zone, and they do not move outside of it. That is a touchback, and we will take it from that point, bring it out to the starting place where we start all drives, and we will give it to them at that point. Mercy rule, if a team is up by 28 or more points with under a minute left, then we call the game at that point. We do not need to play out that last minute. For co-rec rules, so when we have multiple genders on the field at the same time, there's open and closed plays. And this is a little bit complicated, so we will go over it more in person and discuss a little bit further. But essentially, every possession starts on what is called an open play. During an open play, there's no restrictions on who can throw, who can catch. Everything is good to go. If there is a completion that goes from one gender to the same gender, so male to male or female to female, then the next play will be closed. And in a closed play, in order to reopen the play, so make it open again where there's no restrictions, the team must include the gender that was not included on the last play in the next one. So if it's a male to male completion in one play, the next play must include a female. That's the best way to remember it. If a gender was left out on the previous play, they must be included on the next play. Wrong way. If a play is open, any player may complete a legal forward pass to any other player. There may not be 2 consecutive male-to-male completions or 2 consecutive female-to-female completions. So again, one gender must be involved on the next play if that play is closed. This goes a little bit more in depth to it. Essentially, they need to have the opposite gender. It must be a legal forward pass. So the pass must go past the line of scrimmage. And it has to go for positive yards. So they can't just snap the ball, do a little pitch, and have the player go down and not gain any positive yards. Must go beyond the line of scrimmage. If a female passer completes a pass to a male player behind the line of scrimmage, and then that male player eventually runs through the offensive line of scrimmage, we'll call an illegal forward pass on that. And we'll show you what that looks like out in the field as well. Essentially, that pass, it can't just be a little chip. It has to be beyond the line of scrimmage to give the defense a fair chance to play defense on it. Penalties do not affect the openness or closeness of the play. All right, so that play started as open. And because that there is no completion on the play, it'll remain open for the next one. However, if the quarterback on the blue team there completed that pass to the other female, it would be a female to female completion, then the play after that will be closed and must include a male. So in this play, this is 7v7. That's why it looks like there's so many players on the field. They do not actually let the play run, but this will be a closed play. And in this scenario, it looks like it was probably male to male the previous play, and now the next play must include a female. So they will have a female passer, it looks like, which is fine. And then she is allowed to complete the pass to anybody in the field because even though she won't be necessarily catching it, a female is involved on that play. Again, this sounds complicated. In practice, it's not too bad, and we'll go over it more in person. So if we get to overtime, which in the regular season, remember, there is no overtime in the regular season. If the game ends in a tie, both teams will receive a tie. However, if we do get to overtime in the playoffs, it will be sort of like college rules where we'll have offense. The team will be able to choose offense or defense. And then we're just going to do a series of 3 downs from the 10-yard line. So like college, they'll have 3 chances to score. If they do score, they will still get an extra point try. And then after that, the other team will get a chance. And we'll just continue to do that until we have a winner. Very good. This will be the final slide for this module. Go ahead and take the quiz and come on back.